Hi students, for this problem we want to determine whether h of x is even, odd, or neither. So the first thing I'm going to do is write down the definition for what even functions and odd functions look like. If our function is even, then we would need h of x to be equal to h of negative x. For our function to be odd, you would need h of negative x to be equal to negative h of x. And if neither of these are true, if it's neither even nor odd, then our function could just be classified as neither. So let's test these. We'll start with even. So to test for evenness, first we need to find h of x. Well, that's easy because they told us that in the problem. H of x is negative 6 x to the fifth plus 4x cubed. We also need to find h of negative x, which is a matter of rewriting h and replacing all of our x's with negative x's. So I'm going to rewrite h and leave a blank for all of my x's, but in that blank, we're going to now plug in this negative x. Now it's time to simplify h of negative x. Notice in the first term, we have a negative x to the fifth power. Since 5 is an even number, since 5 is an odd number, this is asking us to multiply a negative x to itself an odd number of times, which means that our answer here would simplify down to a negative. So we'd have negative 6 times negative x to the fifth. And then for the second term, we have a negative x cubed. The 3 exponent is also odd, so the same thing's going to happen here. We will still be left over with a negative x cubed when that simplifies. And now we're going to multiply together the negative 6 and the negative x to the fifth, so we get a positive. And the positive 4 with the negative x cubed will give us a negative 4x cubed. So to determine whether this function is even, we need to compare h of x to h of negative x. Is this true? Does negative 6x to the fifth plus 4x cubed equal 6x to the fifth minus 4x cubed? And the answer is no. These are obviously different. So no, our function is not even. And we can even just cross this off so that we remember. Now let's check for oddness. In order for our function to be odd, we need to check for h of negative x, which we've already done. We already determined what h of negative x is equal to when we did our even calculation. So really the only other one we need to look at is negative h of x. So this is where you just pop a negative sign right out front of h of x. So h of x here is negative 6x to the fifth plus 4x cubed. Make sure you put parentheses around h of x. And if we simplify that, all we have to do is distribute the negative sign, so we get positive 6x to the fifth minus 4x cubed. So now it's time for our test. Does h of negative x equal negative h of x? So does 6x to the fifth minus 4x cubed equal 6x to the fifth minus 4x cubed? And the answer is yes, that is true. So our function is odd. Since our function is odd, it can't be neither, so we can go ahead and cross that off. And we say h of x is odd.